what's going on? It's MassiveJoes RAW Review and I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com. Awesome RAW review for the viewers at home today. Particularly awesome because it's on a high stim, concentrated stim pre-workout supplement. It's a new company, it's a new product, it's from BPMLabs and is called The One. Let's get straight into it, show exactly what's in it, tell you what exactly it's going to do. That nutritional information panel ain't going to get it done. So we got one of these big bitches in the house. Starting at the top, and I'm just going to point out before we even get started that we don't have any idea of how much of each of these ingredients is in here. These stars mean it's a proprietary blend. They ain't going to tell us, man. So I can just tell you what's in this. I can't actually tell you how much and whether or not it's clinically dosed. That being said, it is a concentrated stimulant pre-workout supplement. So I'm going to make the assumption that is not clinically dosed. And BPMLabs, if you want to rebut my assumption, possibly tell the consumers how much of each ingredient is in your product, man. Anyway, let's get straight into it. Beta-alanine for anti-fatigue, blocks those hydrogen ions, blocks those fatigue toxins, lactic acid. Then you got a few different types of creatine in the house. Creatine monohydrate, creatine malate, creatine ethyl ester, helps with ATP synthesis, help you get more reps, more sets, increase strength in the gym. Got yourself L-arginine malate and L-arginine alpha-ketoglutarate. Nitric oxide boosters, I say, but I hesitate because arginine these days has been shown to do sweet for nitric oxide production. A lot of companies are heading towards agmatine, which is a decarboxylation of arginine, man. Anyway, it's got arginine in there for that there nitric oxide production. We'll tell you whether or not it gives you muscle pumps in just a second. Then you got your Stimulant Blender. And I already said at the start of this RAW review, this is a high stim pre-workout, man. This is why right here, you have a look here, man. Methylxanthine anhydrous, a fancy name for caffeine. Then you got methylcinephrine. You've got R-beta is that methylphenylamine? Methylphenylethylamine, then you've got beta-phenylethylamine, then you've got N-methyl-beta-phenylethylamine, then you've got beta-methylphenylethylamine hydrochloride. That's a lot of methylphenylethylamines in the house. It's high stimulants, man, I'm not lying. PEA is the abbreviation of phenylethylamine because not a lot of people can say phenylethylamine. Try it at home, say it with me. PEA, phenylethylamine. There's a little bit of grammar lesson for the viewers at home. Anyway, PEA, man, one of the strongest stimulants. Combine that with caffeine and synephrine, you're gonna have yourself one hell of a stimulant party, man. Then down the bottom, you got here Xanthiose, which I had to do a little bit of research on. Xanthiose is another name for theobromine, which is another hardcore stimulant in the house. Then you got Narregen, which I also had to do some research on. Narregen blocks histamine, which means it decreases acid in your gastrointestinal tract, man. So I can only assume that it's not a stimulant, obviously. I can only assume that Narregen is in here, maybe to help your body better absorb the nutrients in this product. I'm not too sure. I don't really know. I haven't seen Narregen in a pre-workout supplement before. So BPMLabs, if you would be so kind as to let me know what Narregen is doing in your supplement, man, I'll be so forever grateful, man. You can drop a knowledge bomb on MassiveJoes. And then finally, some niacin flushes the skin, makes it feel like the supplement's doing something. In terms of how it tastes and how it mixes, comes in two flavors. Comes in... There's a flavor on this thing, man. Up the top. Comes in pineapple, comes in watermelon. I wouldn't go so far as to say the flavors are delicious, but they're pretty damn good, man. I have to say I am impressed with the folks at BPMLabs and their flavor systems, man, because this pre-workout is actually quite enjoyable to drink. Now don't get me wrong, it's no pineapple like a DEFCON 1 pineapple, which is delicious, but it's still quite nice, man, quite nice to drink. In terms of how it mixes, gonna grab ourselves one scoop of this here, the One. If I can grab one scoop. One scoop of this here, the One. Gonna throw it in ourselves a glass of water just down here, man. And watch that baby dissolve. So sink straight to the bottom. Gonna need a bit of a stir in there. And then pretty much with that stir, it's pretty much dissolved. You do have a little bit of sedimentation down the bottom. You don't have no floaties on the top. But for all intents and purposes, I would go so far as to say blender bowl is not required. For this here BPMLabs the one, man. Just to remind myself how it tastes. Yeah, it's pretty damn good. It's not, like I said, it's not delicious. It does have a little bit of a bitter aftertaste to it, but it's pretty damn nice, man. It's not the sort of pre-workout. It's not, let's say, it ain't no Betancourt D-stunner in this bitch, man. When you're drinking that shit, make you feel like you want to throw up just as you're drinking it. This stuff is actually quite good. In terms of the effects, because that's what you're taking your pre-workout supplement for. And hell, there's a shitload of them on the market at the moment. And you know if we sell this at MassiveJoes.com, we've got some pretty special effects, man. So let me put it to you like this. My first experience with BPMLabs the one, and this almost goes with the disclaimer, I don't read a lot of supplement label instructions these days, dosing instructions, because I kind of know what my body needs and doesn't need. So if I kind of know, you know, it says to start with half a scoop before you go up to 1 scoop, man, I'm going straight to 1 scoop in that bitch, man. I ain't going no half a scoop, assess my tolerance, bull, and then go to 1 whole scoop, man. I ain't doing that. I'm going to 1 whole scoop. Let me warn the viewers at home, if you do decide to try this here, BPMLabs the one, read the instructions, start with half a scoop. Because this supplement caught me out, man. I went to a full scoop and the niacin flush, I don't know if it's niacin or the combination of niacin and beta-alanine in there, but whatever it was, the skin flush turned me into a lobster. I mean, for real, man, my skin turned like bright pink with little niacin flush. It was a niacin flush, man, with ants crawling all over my skin going. It was a horrible feeling. I actually took the 1 scoop. I was driving to the gym and I felt like the biggest potato. I actually sat in my car for 20 minutes to wait for the niacin flush to go down so I didn't look like a freshly sunburnt lobster walking into the gym. So word of warning, start with half a scoop and do work your way up. A good thing about the second time I took it, no niacin flush at all. So it is the niacin flush that your body builds up that tolerance to very quickly. Now, back to the effects. So when you do build up your tolerance to it, you get past that niacin flush, you're on 1 scoop. The best way I can put BPMLabs the one is a super high stimulant pre-workout supplement that I don't suspect is that high in caffeine. Because those of you that follow raw reviews, you know that if I have 1 milligram over 300 milligrams of caffeine, I want to go into the squat rack and take myself a nap, man. And it doesn't happen with this here BPMLabs the one. I feel very, not so much dialed in mentally. It doesn't really affect mental focus that much. It's just a really hardcore physical stimulant. So if you want the kind of pre-workout that you're sipping on that bitch, on your way to the gym or just before you're about to leave for the gym, and then 15-20 minutes later it's game time and you're physically in the zone ready to go with your workout, BPMLabs is the one for you. The one thing that it doesn't do, like I mentioned, is it doesn't dial you in psychologically. So you might want to pick up my personal favorite nootropic or product crosses blood-brain barriers, acetyl-L-carnitine. You might want to pick up yourself some Creation supplements, AlkaPure, or some Gentech AlkaFuel or something like that and throw it in that bitch, just to help with that mind-muscle connection, man. But in terms of the physical stimulant, this here BPMLabs the one is on par, I would say, with a Betancourt D-stunner. It just tastes a whole lot better. Guys, that is MassiveJoes RAW review on the all-new BPMLabs the one, high stimulant, concentrated stim pre-workout supplement, man. If you love yourself some concentrated stim pre-workout supplement and you want a new pre-workout supplement that's just gonna rock your socks off physically, man, from a physical stimulant point of view, this here BPMLabs is for you. Guys, hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, man. Stay up to date with all the latest editions of MassiveJoes RAW Review and all the other deliciousness we've got going on YouTube, man. And guys, that is MassiveJoes RAW Review. And I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com. stay massive.